Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. I'm really pleased that you're here with me today because this is a very special video for me. I've decided to do something I've never done before. I've been following KP from KP's Creations that made art dolls, and I really loved the concept, so I wanted to do one for myself. And of course, you know me, I wasn't going to start with a small doll like anyone would do. I've decided to start with something just gigantic, enormous, and super hard to do, a Zouwu.
Well, that'll be the Zouwu.
So this Zouwu is from Fantastic Beasts, which is the Harry Potter universe. I really like that magical universe. The idea was to just not buy anything new for this doll since it's the first one I'm making. The only thing I bought was faux fur and cabochon eyes. I will write down in the description below everything I've used, and let's get started. Of course, if you like my videos and my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. You can also buy me a coffee if that's something you're interested in. And I've been thinking about making a Patreon channel. So just, yeah. So what I've done here is I've used some tin foil, I've crunched it up in a bowl, and then I've just covered it with Fimo, and then I put it all to bake. And this is some really old Fimo, so it's really hard and it's not the best, but I would really like to just finish it. So let's work on the eyes first. I bought these glass cabochon, I think. The Zouwu has really big eyes. So I'm thinking of using really big cabochon. Since I've baked it, I've just changed my mind. In the position of the Zouwu I wanted to do a very nice Zouwu, and now I would really like to have a lot of movement in it. So I've decided to do another pose so the mouth is open. First things first, we're gonna work on the eyes. Since I want to keep this project as small as possible, I'm going to use these small glass cabochons. The Zouwu has vertical slits like a cat, and when he's angry, they go right up to the top and the bottom of the eyes. So we can trace them with black acrylic paint. Once the paint is dry, I'm going to use some of my nail polish. It will be fine in the oven. The first thing we see in the eyes is that there's a lot of like gold and curly colors, so I want to use some of this golden nail polish and just do a light coat. There's a lot of yellow in the center near the slit, and it goes darker and darker. This is not starting well. I'm going to use this tool. But it looks really good. Look at that. So while the eyes are drying, let's just work on the mouth. Since this is already cooked, I'm using this, which is Bacon Bond Sculpey, and it's kind of a glue. It's a bit dry, but it's okay, you can still use it. So this is the muzzle. And now let's work on the skin bulges on the snout. So now I'm looking at a picture of the open mouth, just to kind of figure out how to do this. And I'm gonna work on the inside. And then I will work on the, I guess, the other side here. Well, I will have to do the teeth at some point. I will now put this to bake so that I can work on the teeth. Time to work on those teeth. I will use bacon bond to act like our gums and glue the teeth to each jaw, and we can start with the back teeth. I will now create the texture of the mouth under the tongue. Now let's make the actual tongue. And let's not forget that a tongue actually has texture and movement. It's really important. The details are very important. I am using bacon bond or liquid Fimo to make sure that the tongue will adhere to the lower jaw. Time to bake. The eyes are dry, so let's work on the upper part of the face now. They look so big. We start by attaching them with bacon bond and some clay in between. Let's just put all this in the oven because, you know, the eyes are moving too much and I'm having trouble just doing the outside. So I'm just gonna put everything in the oven and then we'll work on attaching these and the top here and the eyes. While it's cooking, let's make some of the big teeth. The Zouwu's big teeth have a lot of texture on them, so to make them more realistic, we're going to do that right now. The Zouwu also has really pointy ears, as you can see right here, so let's just do that right now. After 30 minutes, the cooking is done, so we can now continue working on the face and eyes of our Zouwu. He looks like a sphinx right now, doesn't he? Here I thought the snout looked a little bit too cute, so we are going to make it a little bit meaner and more aggressive, more alive. So right now, as you can see on the images here, the Zouwu's upper mouth curls up to let the tusks or the big teeth pass. So this is what we're doing right now. That's so much better. Now let's add the tusks. Let's use bacon bond to make sure the raw Fimo really adheres to the already cooked up Fimo. In the front, the bacon bond will act as the gums that will hold our smaller pointy teeth. And now we can add the pointy teeth. Such fine details. What do you think? Do you like it so far? Now it's time to add the second bigger tusks. And as KB always says, always make sure you check your reference pictures, always. The next step is to add the fur texture on the face, just in case I can't put any actual fur on it. Time to cook. While it bakes, let's work on the paws. In the movie, they clearly look like chicken or eagle claws, so I took reference from those. I absolutely struggled with the feet. It took me ages to get just one finger right. After many failed attempts at making the whole paw in one go, I decided to make individual toes and attach them together. And then we can attach the claws to make it look more realistic. And of course, after we've done all the feet, we just attach each talon to the central tube that will form the foot. After a first baking, I will add some more details to the skin. After hours of work, the feet are finally looking good, so let's put them in the oven and keep working on the baked head now. How about we attach the upper and lower jaws together? This is actually a pretty difficult situation. Since the bacon bun will melt in the oven before becoming hard again, I have to add foil and make sure it all stays in the shape I want very exactly and that it doesn't just move in the oven. So this is day 2 of this crazy Zouwu project. So far I'm really excited about what we've done in terms of sculpting. We've made all 4 feet and a talon that I forgot in the video, and then the face, and we have the ears here. I'm pretty sure this is all we need as far as sculpting goes. I'm not sure if the face is going to be enough, you know, if we can just glue some fur on top. And now we're going to work on the whole armature. For that I will be using some wire. In terms of sizing, can I say that? I'm going to try to see on my laptop if I can see the size my head should have compared to the body. So bear with me and let's get cracking. What I'm missing now is to make a little hole in here for the armature to go in, and I just don't want to go down to my basement to get the drill, so I'm just gonna make a hole with my cutter. Alright, so that's it for the hole. So I've just spent a bit of time sanding. It's not perfect, but then I think I will put some fur maybe. So what we're going to do now, before we move on to the structure, is I'm going to put a layer of black gesso, which is going to be my primer, so that my paint sticks well to the femur. Now that that's done, let's move on to the armature of our beast. And for that I'm using this pretty thick wire, and I'm going to do it the whole length of the body and the tail. I'll really show you because it's really long. I mean, this tail is so big. So now I'm just going to use my pins. Can I say it's a pins? And I'm gonna just do the, you know, the legs. They're meant to be a bit like this. I just hope this is good enough and big enough here to the head. So it's something like this. And then there's the feet and the head. I must say it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna get my hot glue and we're gonna stick the face and the legs. In terms of paint, I am using acrylics. I will add some definitions and shadows with watered down acrylics. This is better to make gradients and avoid seeing paintbrush strokes. Now it's time to paint the tongue, but I really need some more light in there. And now let's paint the bright pink gums. The feet are dark gray in the movie, so there's nothing fancy here. And with a dry brush and some white, I am adding some highlights. And for manicure, black please. Yep, looking good. All done. Now let's move on to the quilt batting. It's the muscles of the Zouwu, I guess. I'm just going to go round and round until I get the desired shape and size. It's quite a thin animal, so I don't need too much of that. When adding the quilt batting, you need to keep in mind the added fluffiness by the fur, so I don't put too much of it. After this little fluffiness break, let's get back to painting. Of course, you need to leave the first layers to dry before you continue applying new layers. It's not really finished. I haven't finished the tongue and stuff, but since it's still drying, I'm going to work on the fur. So I've straightened the Zouwu out, and now I'm going to try and just cut this fur to size. I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but I guess we'll see soon enough. My idea is to make kind of a sock and just sew around, and I'm gonna try to go straight and all the way around. Now that my tube is finished, I'm just cutting it to size, and then I'm using some thread to sew both sides together. Just so you know, this is taking me hours. Literally, I've done one leg and the body, but not entirely because I don't really know how to do the head. You should always have one of these at hand because it's really important so you see the seams. And when you do the leg, start with the base here and then sew it, because I did the opposite with this leg and then there was like this huge gap in between, and yeah, that was really hard. So start with the base. So I'm gonna go on and do that, and I mean honestly, what these guys do with these dolls is just unbelievable. It's just so time consuming, and you know, you end up with something that looks nothing like what you want to do. I mean, it's really hilarious. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on doing this, but yeah, I'm in awe of people who do this now. I'm really happy I got to try. I don't know if I'll do it again. We'll see. We'll see with the end result. Maybe. We'll see. Well, he looks like a big sloth. And now we need to work on this fur that we need to cut. I did try to give a little bit, but need to do a lot more. So I'm just gonna go get a picture. And the fur on his body is really short, but I'm so afraid to do something wrong. Gonna try to put back the feet. Okay, I'm gonna continue doing this off camera, and I really need to stop just cutting off the fur here at the head because it has a, you know, like a mane, right? Like the lions. And I really need to stop cutting this off. Just attaching the ears now. Tricky. I've been putting a little bit of fluff on the face. I'm just gonna wait for everything to dry before I remove the excess. Alright, so I'm gonna just let it dry for a bit and then we'll continue working on the mane and of course the tail and the colors, because the colors aren't right. I don't have air blowing thingy machine. So I need to figure out how I want to color, you know, it's got stripes on its back and stuff. So I need to figure out that. But otherwise, I think it looks pretty cool. What do you think? It kind of looks like a sloth or something. I left it quite long here because that's how it is in the pictures. And I'm probably gonna glue a couple of tufts as well on the feet, just to make sure it's all very seamless, I guess. But yeah, what do you think so far? Can't really see too much, can we? He's too big. So I'm gonna add a bit more color and also some shading. And I'm using pastels. It's kind of losing its shine though. I'm not sure I like that. Work on the extremely dreaded tail of our Zouwu. So it's really long. And as you can see in the image, it's very rumpled and it's really flowy, and apparently they use, you know, the fish for the idea of how it moves. So it's just, I have no idea how to reproduce this. So my idea was to create some kind of casing in this darker color and maybe add a lot of ruffles. But I was afraid they would fall, like with gravity. Well, what do you guys think? How would you guys see this? How would you do it? Yeah, let me know in the comments. So yeah, I'm just gonna start with the casing. One of little ruffles, and now I'm gonna see if I can just sew them onto our tail casing. Okay guys, believe it or not, I've just sewn, so you can see kind of a wavy pattern, because the tail has a similar wavy pattern, and then I thought, ooh, I can just roll it anyways. I think it looks really cool. It looks exactly almost like the tail. I didn't do anything about the fraying, and I did use a lot of silk. This is silk. I really wanted it to be, you know, very flowy, and I used some cotton in the middle and a bit of synthetic stuff just to change the textures, and I didn't want the silk to like fall too much, but it doesn't seem to be much of a problem. And now I'm gonna have to just sew this, and since I've already sewn the fur, I don't think this is going to be too hard, because I can't see what's worse than the faux fur. To be honest, it was just really bad. So I might have to just sew one by hand, I guess, maybe, I don't know. You can see the full tail, which is really cool. I really love it. And so about the color, I thought of, I think I've seen someone do this. It's probably KP or someone else. Use their alcohol-based markers to do some coloring on the fur. Of course, it's not the same in terms of feeling, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, let's breathe. Maybe I should do another color. Try some other lighter and go slowly. All right, so all in all, the feel is a bit different. It's a bit like sticky. I don't know if it's going to go away as it dries. I hope so. But here, well, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm just gonna keep brushing. So you can do this without, I think you could do this with any marker. You don't have to do alcohol ink. I think any marker would be fine, and you don't need a pet shaver or anything like that. Of course, it would be a lot easier if you have a pet, just use it, because it took me such a long time to just cut off all the hair, and you know, it's not perfect. There's like, it's patchy, but then let's not forget that this animal has been in a cage for a while, so I guess it's normal if it's a bit patchy. Thank you so much, KP, for your videos and for your support, also emotional support, saying like, just do it, your daily reminder. So I finally got to do it, and I'm really, really happy I did. I can't believe I did this. So I've just put some varnish matte for the face and some glossy for the mouth. And now it's an animal that has a lot of chains, so I want to add the chains to add a little bit of interest. I've decided to kind of style the hair or the mane around the chain so that it looks like it's been there for a really long time and all the hairs have grown around. And I really wanted it to look like it was really tight as well. It's not too visible, but it is visible if you look closely, I guess, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm really happy. Alright guys, so this was the final touch, and then we have the face and little paws and everything and the lines. And anyways, I'm really excited, really psyched about this creation, my first art doll ever. I spent a whole weekend. Let me know what you think, if you like it. So this is how it looks in the end. The tail was a bit of a struggle, especially at the beginning. I had no idea how to make it, but I'm pretty happy with the result. Some people will say that it's really scary. Honestly, I didn't want to do a cute doll because I just wanted it to be majestuous and have a lot of movement, and yeah, I really wanted it to represent the actual Zouwu and not just a cute little baby lion. So this is my work. I really hope you liked it. Don't forget to comment if you think I did a good job, and comment down below also if there's any other kinds of dolls that you want me to make. I would love to see your comments, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye guys! Bye now.